Welcome to ElitMind Academy podcast, ElitTalk. ElitTalk is a breakthrough technology, AI and ML data and cloud-oriented podcast created by top experts in the field of MDW solutions and analytics. Together with our guests, we present the newest updates in leading technology vendors.
Hello and welcome to the new episode of ElitTalk. My name is Andrzej Ermel and I'm Digital Strategy Executive at ElitMind, and with me is Sylwia Pawlaczyk, our ESG expert, data and business analyst. Hello.
Hi Andrzej, it's good to be here. My name is Sylwia Pawlaczyk. I'm data and business analyst, and I also specialize in ESG area, especially sustainability reporting.
And today we will be talking about sustainability, especially in a quite interesting aspect, because we will be talking about the relevance of ESG topics, especially in terms of IT business sector. And to help me especially understand this topic, let's talk maybe first about the basics. So can you, Sylwia, elaborate why ESG is relevant for IT business?
Generally, that's like common misassumption that IT may not be relevant for IT, because usually we recognize that topic in like manufacturing, industry, and similar ones. But of course, IT is like one of the business, and ESG topics are like licensed to operate today. So from perspective of like investments, business partners, is like critical to follow the law and expectation from the customers, because also like each company in European market will be regulated according CSRD. So there is no other option. Like IT also needs to apply the sustainable practices in their processes. And also they need to, take care of their like appearance towards the, business partners and investors. We already started to get the questions from our main customers on some scope 3 emissions. So yeah, no other way.
It's true. I've seen this relevancy of ESG already. During some of our sales processes, we are required to confirm that we are ESG compliant to those rules. All right, so let's think about breaking it down. So ESG, we have E, S, and G. Yeah. So maybe let's start with the E, the environmental. Can you elaborate a little bit how does it touch our industry?
Yeah, definitely. So of course, we are like desk-oriented company. So we work with PC. So basically, it's all focusing on how we operate in this area. So if we are like renting whole big spaces that are not optimized. So for example, in ElitMind, we are like having the headquarters in Warsaw that we are today. But also we are having some kind of co-work spaces that are actually adjusted on our needs in the specific locations. So we are not wasting like the resources just because. So we are responsible in that area. So we are optimizing like the energy consumption, like the heat and cooling, etc. Additional thing is of course our equipment. So we replace our equipment like each 2 or 3 years, just to make sure it follows the newest energy efficiency requirements. So we are actually not having the equipment that use more energy than needed. And then when the PC is replaced, then we are able to actually rebuy it from the company. So we also not like wasting this asset, and we can just make work of our employees much better.
In terms of big IT companies, different than ElitMind, there is also an aspect of efficiency of data centers, right?
Yeah.
So this is also one big area, by the way, where cloud is also quite important, since cloud data centers are the most efficient data centers in the world from the energy consumption perspective. Other than that, what else do you see? For instance, from the processes perspective, the paperless, for instance, is a big issue, right?
Yeah, of course. Like, so electric signatures, like today we are having the technologies that supports like, authorization of like signatures. So there is no need to like go with paper. That's like one very obvious point. Then of course, the water access, like not having like water bottles in the office and that kind of items. Of course, it may seem like some small activity, but if you combine, all of those, it will make an impact. Additionally, I would also actually mention about the business travels. Because, if you are like flying everywhere, then it's not really environmental friendly. So we are trying that each our like business trip has some kind of like requirement, the need to actually have this business trip in place. But also we are always like choosing train when possible. So it is just like more environmental friendly, and we are reducing our carbon footprint.
So, of course, this is the perspective from the side of being, let's say, environmentally friendly. What about the business aspect of this operation? I mentioned one example that from regulatory perspective, we are required as a solution provider from multiple other clients. But what about the business aspect that you see that is important?
Yeah, so actually the new regulations, for example, like taxonomy that is coming, that will be supporting like green investments. This is something critical for our like bigger customers. So they are always trying to select like the best business partners also in like sustainability area. So actually to operate on nowadays market, you must follow like sustainability environmental practices. So that's like another aspect. And what I can add more in here.
For sure, as I said, from the most procurement departments, this will be the formal requirement for us as a solution provider. So, in fact, we have to be able to prove all those operational activities that you were mentioning, that we are actually conducting, and we are doing this in real life. What else? This is only about E from the perspective of this whole ESG, let's say, trend or mega trend on the market. But very often we forget to discuss the other letters. So maybe let's move on to, for instance, to the S part. S stands for social. What do you think about this? What it may be, to make it in order, what this S stands for other than the word social, and how do you see it being integrated into IT business?
Yeah, so when it comes to S, it's just social responsibility. So you need to be responsible on how you treat your employees, but also like the neighborhood, let's say like that. And when it comes to like example on how we do it like at ElitMind, we definitely take care on the employees. We know that this is our like main assets. Those are the people that are delivering the projects. So we have this remote hybrid model of work, so they can like combine this work-life balance, of course in the same time affecting the E part, so just reducing the emission caused by commuting to the office. But of course we have the space that they can connect with other employees, talk and just build those like team awareness. And we are also taking care on like psychological safety. We are having some kind of helping hand program that supports our employees to actually share their experiences, to get some kind of support from the specialist. Additionally, we are having like many activities that will boost like our attitude and our like approach towards like team, like kind of like elite sport. So we are having many of those. Also, some kind of parties that we are having like each 6 months. So I think like it says a lot, and we provide in our project the psychological safety aspect. So our project managers also take care to actually implement that and take care of the team members.
There is also surprisingly the part regarding the protection and especially data protection somewhere around, or maybe not protection but privacy, to be more specific. Why is it a significant concern right now, and how do you see our business and other IT companies are dealing with that?
Yeah, so today we have a lot of risks on the market and in general world for like average consumer to like companies level. So the data protection and privacy is a key to actually protect the companies, protect like single, person up there. So you always need to make sure you are following like GDPR rules. You are taking care on all of those like safety measures when you are dealing and processing like the data from the customers. And we as ElitMind, we are having very like strict GDPR policies. We are having like many trainings and many, real life examples like introduced like by the company, like some special like practices on how we should react for a certain like emailing. Lately, I think it was like in June, we had this really great training on this, authentication and general rules, how to protect like our like bank accounts and variety of the assets we have as like just private person. So it was very like helpful because even if we are in IT, then there are always some improvement areas that we can implement.
Can you, because it seems for me at least at the first glance that data privacy is somehow unrelated to ESG. Can you explain what is the link between those two areas, why we are talking about this?
Yeah, definitely. So when it comes to like ESG reporting, there is like amount of data that is related with like gender in the office place, the pay gap, the percentage of like employees in certain age. So there are like many data that is actually sensitive that needs to be accurately protected. So that's like very like strong association. And yeah, so this is like just one area. Of course, there is another aspect, like we need to act responsibly. So when we are doing business, we do not want to expose like data of our customers to any, risk. So that's like doing like business responsibly. This is like license to operate nowadays.
Okay, so within, let's say, the space of ESG reporting, we are required to prove that we are acting responsibly, that we are conducting the business responsibly. Hence, the direct link to data privacy, GDPR, and all that stuff. Because at the end of the day, we will have to prove this on the reports of ESG compliance.
Yes, that's one of like the reporting requirements, that the whole process needs to consider this aspect. And when you will be doing like audit, then of course you need to show the auditor how you are doing that. It's not enough to say yes, we have that in place. You need to show how this is protected and how it is executed.
Interesting. So okay. From one side, we discussed E, we discussed the S, and the last part, G, stands for governance. How does governance play a role in our business? It's also connected with this data privacy, or we should think it in some other way?
Yeah, we cannot say like this is like very visible line between like S and G. It's all like somehow like connected, and we need to see this as like mutual effort. But when it comes to governance, we are thinking more about how company, for example, is signing agreements and with who. Are we checking that our suppliers like work ethically? Are we having like the guidelines like protects, from some kind of bribes and corruption systems? So this is like all more related with some kind of, paper and documentation world. But generally, this is also, how we make the decisions, like who is in the government and yeah.
Moving to maybe more innovative stuff or more technically oriented, along the line of ESG and ethics and compliance, we have now the megatrend of AI. And this AI will probably touch most of the areas of the companies, also IT companies, also how we conduct the business, not only what we are offering to the client, but how we are using it ourselves. From your perspective, maybe first, if or is my train of thought correct that ethical AI development is somehow intermixed or will be intermixed in this whole area? And maybe you can explain why.
Oh, definitely. When it comes to the amount of data that needs to be processed to fulfill the ESG reporting requirements of CSRD, I think like many companies will see the benefits and possible business opportunities to also incorporate artificial intelligence in area of like analysis of this data, for example, or like helping like the employees to collect this data. So I think there will be a lot of like use cases that we can apply AI. And when it comes to the ethic of AI, of course, European Union is preparing now the backup when it comes to like AI regulation to help us like navigate in that area. When it comes to market leaders, also Microsoft supports AI to work like ethically. So they released and prepared this AI ethic framework. To make sure that their solutions that they are providing also follow those like requirements, and that this is like aligned with European Union guidelines.
Maybe it will be interesting for our listeners when we are implementing AI solutions for our customers. Since we want to be the highest certified company, and we are required to conduct responsible AI assessments, impact assessments, and this kind of analysis anyways. And this is aligned with this whole trend of adopting new technology and conducting business responsibly. I think this deserves a separate discussions, to be honest, and maybe this is a good idea to also have a separate episode, particularly on this topic, because it's a quite an interesting combination of all those trends. So we have a mega trend of ESG, we have the mega trend of AI, and how this is being combined is quite important to understand and quite interesting.
I cannot agree more. Definitely, and there are so many like possible benefits and opportunities that this is just a waste to not consider that. So I think like the next topic will be very interesting.
Generally speaking, since we are now talking about those megatrends, how do you think we as an ElitMind, or how we are doing this, how we are spreading the awareness of ESG implications? Because this is, or maybe where also to find the informations for the ESG from your point of view?
Yeah, so when it comes to like the awareness, like the Polish market is not, in a place where some other European countries are. So we have a lot to do. So that's why we are also engaging in various initiatives in our area to increase the awareness. One example can be that we always participate in TEMA Microsoft Sustainability Academy. We are having our webinars there that are free to participate. And then you can get some information on data automation and collection for ESG reporting. We also participate in these international conferences like COP28, where we also had lecture. We are organizing free webinars, podcasts like that one. And also when we talk with our clients, we make sure that their projects are delivered in a best possible way. Like we are taking care on efficiency. So when we see like optimization of the solutions in terms of like, cost, time, general resources, we are always like proceeding in that direction. So we are making sure that, of course, customer will get like the, biggest possible value, but also that it will be all done in sustainable way. So we are not just wasting our time.
Okay, so if I were the listener right now and I want to build my understanding of ESG, so from the point of view of education, so you mentioned Microsoft Academy. How is it called? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, it's called like SEMA Microsoft Sustainability Academy. Those are like the series of free webinars that you can always like register and join online. So I think it is really worth to attend. There are like many partners of Microsoft that participate there, and we always are one of them. So I think I highly recommend that, especially that I know that the ESG topic is quite big. And there are like different levels of interest of like individuals, because if you are like operation person that is going to be like accountable for doing some ESG activities, then the knowledge that you need is like more specific. But if you are like a person that is more like interested and just want to bring up some awareness to their life, then, selecting some of those like topics may be like really interesting and fun, because then you will get some kind of interesting insights from the experts.
And of course, today we are talking a lot about the theoretical side, but there is also an implementation side of the things, right? So there are systems, processes, automations, data collection, technologies to be involved in this whole operations. And I suppose you can find information about that as well.
Yeah, of course. Doing like the reporting for big company, and then just utilizing like manual activities is not like sustainable. It's not also like business-wise and efficient, because you will not get this repeatability and auditability that is a key to actually pass the audits and follow the regulations. So, of course, as like, Microsoft business partner, we work on Microsoft Sustainability Manager that allows to, automatize many of the steps and make sure like this huge activity that might be quite complex is much simpler and a bit like guided by the software itself. So you can just optimize on how you are doing that in your company.
Okay, so maybe let's try to summarize then the most important points. So from my understanding, IT sector or IT business for sure is a part of ESG trend, right? We are not running away from that.
Yeah, no doubts in here.
We already see in our business, but also in business of our colleagues or partners, that we as a solution providers are already being required to deliver ESG compliant proofs that in order to be a solution provider for them, for other bigger companies. So this is already happening on the market as we speak. there are ways to do it. It's not some extremely complicated idea, but we need to be diligent and responsible about this in every aspect. So not only emissions from the environment side, but also social and government that we need to take care of. And you mentioned that we have plenty of materials to get the knowledge from, like the Microsoft Academy, like our materials, and any customer who is interested in more details or getting deeper is more than invited to get in touch with us.
Yeah, and I think what I would add as kind of helicopter view at the end is that each company, before applying any like ESG reporting and just sustainability management activities, needs to conduct a double materiality assessment to actually identify all activities that has like the biggest like impact. Impact when it comes to like environment, financial impact, to select, the way of working and focus on certain areas. So of course, like today we used some examples from ElitMind, but it all depends on like company and business characteristics. So you always need to do the assessment first.
So I invite you highly to stay in contact with us and maybe conduct such an assessment. Sylwia, thank you very much for this discussion. It was quite right, and see you soon.
Thank you.